Okay, let's take a look at two additional variations on our scatter plot. Really just two additional ways that you can express that pocket price in a way that's going to be most impactful for your audience. On the scatter plot variation sheet, you'll see two additional scatter plots here. One shows, the first one shows your pocket price as a percentage of the list price. Notice here on the vertical axis, it's no longer expressed in terms of dollars. This is exactly what percentage of list that given pocket price is. And the second example is taking the pocket price and expressing it in terms of a percentage of a target price. This is a company that actually has some type of commercial policy in place to where they actually set target prices for what they expect their products to be sold. So, it really just depends on what the company culture is, what the specifics of the marketplace that the company does business in. You really want to take a look at all of the information and determine what the most relevant marketing variables to graph would be. It's not going to be all the same from one company to the next. And keep in mind here that on the horizontal axis as well, for all of these examples, I've kept it transaction amount, just for simplicity's sake, to make the examples a little easier to digest. But keep in mind that this continuous variable that you have on your vertical axis, or your horizontal axis rather, that could be any continuous marketing variable that you have. When you look at all of the facts, you may realize that it's not appropriate to be looking at the transaction amount and to see if there's some sort of price discount being offered in terms of that. Perhaps for the specific circumstances of your company and the markets, perhaps it's more appropriate to look at what the total volume that customer does across an entire year. Perhaps you should be looking not just at this single transaction volume. Maybe your sales team actually takes into account all of the business that customer does over the course of the year, not just this one-off transaction. Or perhaps your customers are organized into buying groups, and perhaps you should be looking at what the total amount of revenue that's coming in from that buying group is, and see if there's some sort of correlation there with the pocket price. See if there's some sort of cause and effect going on. You can, like I said, put in any continuous marketing variable that you have and begin to look for some type of relationship between the variables. And certainly with this, you can see that in these two scatter plots, the shape of the data is the exact same. It's the exact same shape as what you had when we had the vertical axis be just absolute dollar values. But what's important here is you want to consider what type of example will have the most impact for your audience. You want to ask the management team, the executives who are going to be looking at your analysis, are they used to thinking in terms of their prices as a percentage of their list? Is the target price that they have for each of their products? Is there some type of variation between different product categories to where your target price for some products it may be 60% off of list, for others it may be 80% off of list? In that case, you would want to move on from expressing your pocket price as a percentage of list and go to where you know the variation is. So you would want to look at your pocket prices as a term in terms of a percentage of your target, if you know that there is variation in the target prices between the different SKUs that you are trying to graph. And also, keep in mind that when you do take your data and put it in terms of percentages like this, if you normalize your data, you're no longer using absolute dollar amounts, but you're using some type of scale that you can apply to all of your products. If all of your products have a list price and they all have a target price, then you could graph more than one product on a given scatter plot and begin to look for variations between the products that way. There are really a lot of options here. I just want to let you know that there's more than one way that you can approach these problems and these data sets. And really, it just depends on context. You want to ask questions. You want to see what's important. You want to understand what metrics your audience is used to seeing and why. And, just start where your audience is and then take them where you want to go. That's really what the purpose of all this is. But these are the Scatterplot variations. So let's quickly create these from scratch for you.